Hello and welcome to the first episode of Wasteland 2. Wasteland 2 is the post-apocalyptic sequel to Wasteland, which is the game that inspired Fallout. We have done character creation. We did it in a video that went up about half an hour ago, and now we're going to jump into the game itself and just start to experience this very cool world. So, let's get started. We are playing on Ranger difficulty, by the way. It's the it's the third highest difficulty, but the thing about the fourth highest is that, and the highest difficulty, is that it is apparently full min-max. Like, you should have played the game, you should know what's coming, and you should have built an highly optimized squad. I'm trying to build an optimal squad, but it's not highly optimized. I don't know what things are happening in the game before we get there, so it feels better to just go back one, go to Ranger. So it's a bit of a challenge, but it's not impossible. So, let's jump in. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is that good men do nothing. General Vargas.
What comes after the end? I don't know. Neither did they. They were just an army engineer battalion, constructing roads and bridges deep in the middle of the Arizona nowhere. They didn't know why Armageddon had come. They'd heard radio chatter about an attack on some space-based missile platform. But who had attacked it, or why? No one knew. What they did know is that the politicians and the generals had finally ended the world. Now, everything was gone. They took over a federal prison for a fort, kicked out the convicts, got busy starting from scratch. Maybe it was an act of mercy. Maybe they figured that the prisoners would die out in the harsh new world. Whichever, it came back to bite the engineers in the ass. Cultists, criminals, cannibals. They've been living with the fallout ever since. Good people had survived too, called for help in the night. And those engineers, those common soldiers, could not stand by and see them die. So they came out of their fort, and they helped the survivors defend their homes. And for that, they earned a new name, a proud name, the Desert Rangers. Now, Rangers, I know at times it seems our cause is hopeless, and I know it's hard to say goodbye to a brother in arms. But I want you to know something else. That no Ranger who dies in the line of duty will ever be forgotten. Nor will he have ever died in vain or unavenged.
Ace, born a man, died a Desert Ranger.
Thank you, recruits.
A stiff, bearded older man wearing a hard-worn ranger uniform and a battered cowboy hat. General Vargas walks with a cane, but he's not helpless. He wears a pearl-handled revolver on his hip, and there are lots of notches on the barrel.
I appreciate you coming to Captain Ace's retirement party when you hardly knew the man. Appropriate, too, seeing as how investigating his death will be your first duty as a Desert Ranger.
Before we get into the conversation itself, it is worth mentioning in this conversation system, there are two ways that you can interact. So you can either go here and just click one of these and go, "How did Ace die, sir?" and just click it. Or you can type in whatever you like. So I could say, tell me about the notches on your belt. Or not on your belt, on your revolver.
We'll talk about that when you get
And you
back.
get a response, right? generally when you're typing something in, you want it to be nice and simple, because if you type in something like that's longer, they won't really necessarily get it. But you see, I could type in duck.
We'll talk about
And,
that when you get
we'll get a
back.
response. So I'm assuming that when he says we'll talk about that when you get back, that means he has nothing for us on this one. Anyway, how did Ace die, sir?
Ace had been trying to locate a faint radio signal, which has lately been giving us cause for concern. We gave him 3 repeater units and sent him to hook him up to 3 remote radio towers. This would have allowed us to get a fix on the signal. But sadly, Ace was murdered by unknown assailants right after hooking up the first tower, and his logbook and the last 2 repeater units were stolen.
Is the signal a threat, sir?
The voice on those broadcasts disturbed me greatly. It talked crazy talk about a future where man and machine would be one. Worse, it talked about us, the Desert Rangers, specifically. It said it was coming for us.
Okay, you know anything about these repeater units?
When you get back to the Citadel, talk to our radio expert, Wade Woodson, if you want to know more about the technical details. All I know is the repeaters will upgrade the towers and allow us to zero in on the mystery signal.
So can I go Wade Woodson here?
We'll talk about that when you get back. Recovering those repeaters is more important.
I'm wondering whether that's a voice line for something where he does have something to say, but he still wants you to just continue clicking these. So where are the radio towers?
I'll give you the locations of the towers once you have the repeaters in hand. More important to find them first.
And you think the logbook was stolen, sir?
Don't know, but it wasn't on Ace's person when he was found. Look for it. It might have some clues as to his death.
Well, happy to be given the opportunity, sir, but are you sure we're ready?
Yeah, I know. You've hardly found your feet with us, and here I am sending you on a mission that already got 1 Ranger killed. Well, I wish I had another option, but the Desert Rangers are spread a little thin right now. Ranger teams Abel and Charlie are out west trying to stop a range war out there from becoming straight-up genocide. And Team Baker is up north looking for a way through the radiation that's cut us off from Vegas. I'm afraid the next generation is going to have to lead the charge on this one.
Okay, what's the mission, sir?
The mission is this. Search the area where Ace's body was found and do your best to recover his logbook and the repeater units. Then call in your report. If you find the repeaters, I may send you on to finish his mission. Ace's death must be avenged, and it will be. But finding the signal he died trying to track down is just as important. Besides, I got the sneaking suspicion that when you find the one, you'll find the other.
Okay, where is this area, sir?
It's about a day's walk east from here. I'll mark it on your map.
Okay. Awesome.
There you go.
Call in, sir?
Yes, call in on your radio. Your radio is your lifeline to Ranger Citadel. We'll be calling you with alerts and updates on your current missions and sending you new missions when we receive distress calls. As Rangers, it is your sworn duty to respond to those calls. That is the contract we made with the people of Arizona when we opened for business.
Okay, when can we enter the Citadel, sir?
Once you prove yourself, the Citadel will be your new home. Consider this mission the final test of your training. If you succeed, you are welcome within our walls. If you fail, then you aren't cut out to be a Desert Ranger, and we won't let you in.
Okay, what if we prove ourselves by kicking down the Citadel doors? Sir?
The hard-ass approach, huh?
Yeah, so basically there are 3 ways of convincing people. Smart ass, hard ass, and kiss ass. And we have a point in hard ass, so that's why I went with that option. But essentially, hard ass is intimidation, smart ass is manipulation, kiss ass is, well, emotional manipulation. So, yeah. Hard ass, intimidation, straightforward.
Well, you might get what you want from some folks in the Waste through intimidation, but it doesn't always work, particularly with old hard asses like myself. You want to kick down our doors? Go ahead, give it a try. But I ain't pissing myself just because you growled at me.
Alright, well, thank you, sir. We'll do our best.
Good luck out there, recruits.
Awesome. So, now we have control. First thing it's telling us about is the logbook. The logbook is basically our journal with everything in it. So these are the quests that we have. So we have to go to the site where Ace's body was found, search the area for repeater units, and once we've recovered them, call Vargas. Fairly straightforward. However, 2 things I want to do first. First one is turn on perception. So this kind of shows us the area, and now it's telling us about using skills. So we can use skills by right-clicking or left-clicking and all that sort of stuff. And using items, we can find items in the world which we can use, such as this shovel. So, let's go pick it up. And we'll just distribute that. So, who's holding the shovel right now? Alright, looks like Scooter's holding the shovel. What I'm going to do there is just quickly add to hotkey. So now when we look at Scooter, we'll see that we have this shovel there. Perfect. Right, let's quickly look at the grave. Here lies Ace, born a man, died a desert ranger. I'm not going to try and dig up his body. We're just going to move on and head this way and see what we've got going on here. I'm actually going to have the person who has perception walk at the front, just so that we, if she finds something, we'll find it. We'll be right next to it, basically. Grenadier Major Nur G-Bits. Good to see you, recruits. I'm afraid I can't open this door for you yet. Ooh, did we just find something here? That kind of was shiny. Before you rise a pair of massive 25-foot bronze doors, now green with age and corrosion, and engraved with ancient and barely legible writings. They look like they've been standing since the beginning of time. Okay, cool, because we kind of got a little sparkle there, so I'm assuming that's what the examine one is. Right, switch back to Buffalo, our talker, and let's talk. A desert ranger in scarred but spotless combat armor stands at attention before the doors of the Ranger Citadel. He gives you a friendly salute. Welcome to Ranger Citadel, recruits, but the General ordered me to not let you in before you finished your first investigation. You know what, we're a hard ass, let's try it. And you see, kiss ass we can't do because we have no skill in it. Let us in? Ha, try to stop us. Talking tough already, huh? Well, it won't get you through this door, but like your chutzpah, still, you might want a little bite back up that bark of yours. Tell you what, I got a little toy that might help. Interested? You bet, what is it? I call her the Mississippi Mule, 'cause she kicks like one. A double-barreled flintlock pistol that'll turn your enemies into thin red paste. Well, as long as they're within 10 feet of you. She was my go-to gal when I was out on patrol, but now I'm stuck here on door duty. She don't get much use. You can have her, as long as you promise to put her to good use. Well, I'm sure that's a promise we can keep. Great, here you go. Treat her good, and she'll do the same to you. Okay, we're not going to say move away from the door we're coming in whether you like her or not. That seems like a bad idea. What we might do is we might say Ace, and see what he has to say. Maybe if I go Ace. Did you know Ace? Oh, I think it's meant to have like some dialogue here, and it doesn't. Alright, well, we'll move on. Catch you later, person. Right, over here we have a shop. Hello. Corporal Solvig Sephors. A kindly older woman in standard issue ranger garb. She seems occupied counting goods and organizing crates. Aside from the clothes, she's the picture of a loving grandmother. You could swear she smells faintly of fresh-baked cookies. Well, hello recruits, welcome to Solveig Sundries. Happy to trade whenever you like. An honor to make your acquaintance. Always nice to see new faces around here and a pleasure to make sure they have everything they need before they head out into the big bad world. So you can outfit us? Well, with essentials as tough to find as they are, I can't just give them away for free, believe me, I wish I could. But we keep our prices as close to cost as we can for our rangers. You can stop by for the basics whenever you're in the area. And once you get clearance to enter the Citadel, you'll get access to some of our more valuable goodies. You'll have to talk to Sergeant Melson about that when you get inside. Alright, what's Sergeant Melson like? Oh, he's a great friend, and a great quartermaster. We'd all be eating sand and wiping with cactus flowers without him. Tell me more about Ranger Citadel, what about it? Well, I do love this place nowadays. It used to be full of some kooky birds back when I was younger. Fellers seemed to worship pre-war junk, even if they didn't know what it was. And they wouldn't share none of it. Well, I shouldn't get too judgmental, I'm sure they thought they were doing right. I assume that this is from the previous game. But I don't know. And then, nice to meet you too, Solveig. What's your story? Oh, it's not so interesting. I grew up in a village near here, but I was already a grandmother twice over when the Desert Rangers moved into the Citadel. I saw how much good the Rangers were doing, and I wasn't up to much for my children moved to other villages, I wasn't up to much, with my children moved to other villages to start their own families. It was a little unconventional for an old lady to go through basic training, but I pulled my weight and I earned my star. I may not be too useful in forward operations, but I've got a lot of experience keeping people well fed and well clothed. And I can run a drill press with the best of them. So General Vargas has me help Sergeant Melson run the supply. And I help Captain Mercaptain in the workshop now and again. Captain Mercaptain? What is he like? Well, she's the smart person I've ever met. Oh, my mistake, sorry. Bar none. She can whip up laser beams and water purification systems like I whip up pies. What's General Vargas like? Oh, he's a modern-day Patton. He's got a mind for strategy and he knows how to make tough calls. He's got a gentle side, too. So if I type in Ace here, let's see what we get. Did you know Captain Ace? Oh, it's so sad. Such a kind-hearted man and a hell of a mechanic. Okay. What do you have to trade? And then we can see that she has things to trade. She has the FAMAS, she has a sawed-off shotgun, she has some armor. Yeah, we don't have any money. We have 50, so we pretty much have no money. We could potentially buy some ammo. Well, a small amount of ammo, maybe. But she also has the Akita figurine, which gives +1 to Animal Whisperer. Could be cool. Do I have any junk? Nope. Okay, well, it was worth a try. It's smart to take time on your purchases. Don't want to be too hasty. Okay. Well, it wasn't so much taking time on our purchases, more that we own nothing, so... That's fine. We'll head over here. See what we got going on. Right. There's a goat.
Hey, Echo 1. Mind picking up that can over there for me? Think there's some water in there.
Well, I can see Aberforth the goat here, and I'm assuming that Aberforth is gonna be real mad if we get that can. So, Buffalo, we're gonna use his Animal Whisperer and see whether we can convince Aberforth to maybe not cause us problems. Come on. Come on. Critical success. Oh, yeah. So, Aberforth is now afflicted by Animal Husbandry effect. Buffalo now benefits from Devil Eyes effect. The animal is drawn to you. So, Animal Husbandry was a quirk that we took, which in theory doubles all of our bonuses that we get. So he gets +2 awareness. Oh, wow. That's really good, I think. So that's yes, that's this, awareness. So he went from 4, so he gets an extra combat initiative, and he gets an extra 1% evasion, an extra vision, an extra 1 meter vision range. So that seems pretty awesome. And now we can pick up this can, and we can go, hey, I've got a can. Do you want it?
Did you actually think I was serious about wanting that can? I just wanted the goat to hit you in the ass.
Oh, wonderful. Well, hopefully we'll not see you later. What have we got here? Something seems to be buried here. Well, go to Scooter. Let's dig it up. And in here we have got scrap and a necklace. Alright, well, cool. Scrap, I believe, is the currency. Yeah, scrap is the currency. So, that's fine. Head over here. See if we got anything. Doesn't appear to be anything. We'll switch back to the person with perception on as well, in case there's anything hidden. Ooh. Got another thing to dig up. Well, let's dig it. See what we got. And we have scrap and a large ring. We'll grab that. Just going to quickly turn up music if there is any. Kind of general game volume. It might be that there just isn't any right now. It seems like it's a little quiet. Nope, there's just none. Okay, that's fine. Just wanted to check. Ranger Brass Knuckles. Sorry, can't talk right now. Got to clean up this graffiti. What's it say? Law? Can't really tell. That's definitely an O. Maybe it's law or something? I don't know. Anyway. What else have we got here? Ooh, a gate. Well, let's use our perception. Carefully examining the fence, he finds a lock. Okay, well, who do we have who can unlock it? We have Scooter. Scooter, unlock. Let's see how it goes. 80% chance of succeeding, 5% chance critical failure. Success! Wonderful. So what have we got back here? We have a box. A fiberglass case with heavy plastic latches looks just like the kind of thing in which you'd safely store your guns. Ooh. Oh, we got a handgun. Now we do actually have somebody who uses handguns and TNT. Wonderful. Let's distribute that. So who uses handguns? That I think is Scooter. I did give it to him. So is that better than what he's using? Yes. So 10 to 40. Well, maybe. Oh no, it does tell you damage per AP as well. Yeah, so it's an extra 0.8 damage per AP. And seems about the same as lower round capacity, but yeah, in general, seems better. So that's cool. And some extra ammo never goes amiss. I believe when I've played this game before, I only played like a couple hours before, but ammo was definitely an issue, so yeah. Oh, a pre-war ammo cam. Well, that seems good. Sniper ammo. Well, fantastic. So hopefully we can just stay stocked in ammo. I assume if we get money, we can just stay stocked in ammo because we can just buy it, but I don't know how often we're able to come back here or if ever, so yeah. Well, we'll be cautious. Just try not to waste it, basically. Right, what have we got over here? That's the thing we already dug up. Ooh, another thing to dig up. Well, on you go. What have we got here? I'm not holding my breath. The last one wasn't too exciting. We've got scrap. Ooh, sniper ammo. And then a library card. Okay, well, sniper ammo is always good. What have we got over here? We have another thing to dig up. Alright, well, let's dig it up. What are we going to get? Hopefully, I'm hoping good again. We got scrap and broken sunglasses. Okay, cool. Right, head over here.
God damn it, Ace. You never should have put down the wrench and picked up the gun.
Okay. Ooh, we've got something here from perception. Can I use perception? So that kind of sparked, like we had some perception stuff there. By right clicker? Ah, there we go. Among the skull tattoos that cover Angela's arms, there is a single heart, and within that heart, a single name. Ace. Oh, okay. So, definitely knew Ace well.
Sorry about the waterworks. I'm still pretty broke up over Ace. I'm Angie. You kids must be the new recruits old Vargas trained up. Lord, y'all just babies.
Interesting. So because we did that perception, we've got something else we can talk about here. I see you have Ace's name tattooed in that heart on your arm.
You noticed that, huh? Well, Ace always said I wore my heart on my sleeve. Yeah, me and Ace, we were more than just old army buddies, if you know what I mean. That's why it hurts so bad. That's why I want to come with you.
You want to come with me? Okay. Well, first of all, you were calling us babies.
Sorry, but you are. As cute as little kittens. Y'all remind me of us. Snake, Razor, Thrasher, and me. Back when we were just starting out. Thinking we were gonna save the world for the future. Thinking none of us would ever die. Christ, sorry. Don't listen to me. Youth is good. Optimism is good. If we all started out worn out and jaded like me, nobody'd ever try to change the world. So you kids go ahead and give it a go. Maybe it'll work this time.
How well do you know General Vargas?
Better than he'd like. Back in the day, the General was the craziest of us all. But somehow, after he brought down Base Cochise, he became the sanest. Now he's running the whole show, and doing a damn fine job. While I'm still walking patrols and answering radio calls. Shows you how much ambition I got, huh?
And what was Base Cochise?
An old military facility from before the war. And the biggest fight the Rangers ever had. There was some crazy computer in there that kept spitting out robots and sending them off to kill people. We had one hell of a fight putting it down. Earned our stripes that day. Literally. That's when I became Captain Death.
That is an odd name, but okay. So a computer was making the robots.
Yeah. The Base Cochise AI. Don't know what was wrong with it. Broken, I guess. It thought everybody was its enemy. Wanted to kill the whole planet.
Okay, so General Vargas used to be called Snake.
Well, like I said, he was one wild-ass son of a bitch back in the day. But I think the weight of his responsibilities has kind of squashed that out of him now. He hasn't been in a decent bar fight in, shit, a decade maybe?
Okay, what happened to Hellraiser?
He's another one gone. Went out for a patrol a few weeks back and never came home. Don't know if he's dead, or AWOL, or gone off to join the Scorpions. All anybody knows is he hasn't called in, and we haven't heard from anybody who's seen him.
So that's 2 Rangers dead in a couple of weeks. I don't know how common that is, but that's definitely interesting.
I miss old Hellraiser like blazes. Didn't talk much. Didn't make friends easy. Wasn't big on social graces. But he was as loyal as they come, and when the shit started flying, he was the guy you wanted at your back. He didn't win that name by accident. Sharp as a razor. Scary as hell.
So, tell me about the Red Scorpions?
You weren't briefed on those fucks during your training? Well, let me fill you in. You know when we left the prison and moved here to the Citadel? Well, the Scorpions were the jerks who moved into the prison when we moved out. Just a bunch of Rangers back then, but they've been getting more organized. Call themselves a militia now, and they try to act like they're the Desert Rangers of Eastern Arizona. Well, that's a load of horse shit. A protection racket ain't the same as protecting people. They shake down all their towns for money, and if the locals don't kick in, they smash them up. The Rangers aren't like that. We get by on donations and good old-fashioned scavenging.
What can you tell us about Eastern Arizona?
Basically everything between the prison and the radiation clouds to the east. There are a few small towns and farms out there, which the Scorpions claim is their territory. Rangers used to patrol that area before we moved here, and we knew it pretty well. But a lot can change in 15 years. Who knows? Maybe it's all as clean and nice and crime-free as the Scorpions say it is. But I've got my doubts.
Radiation clouds?
The edges of the map, kiddies. Big hot areas we can't get into without getting cooked to a crisp. The clouds move around some with the wind and the weather, but there are permanent hot spots on every side of us. North, south, east, and west. Until we started hearing those weird broadcasts, I kind of thought those clouds went on forever, and that Arizona was the last place on Earth. But maybe there's more people out there. Maybe the whole rest of the world's just fine, and we're the only ones in hell. Wouldn't that be a joke?
Wouldn't be very funny. Have you heard any of these strange broadcasts?
Ace played me some of them before he died. Hard to make out a lot of it, but what I heard made my hair stand on end. Some guy talking about turning men into machines, or machines into men, or some shit. But the crazy thing was, then he starts talking about us, the Rangers, saying we're the cause of all the trouble in the world, and we need to be wiped out so his glorious future can be born. I mean, who is this guy? Where is he? What the fuck does he have against us?
Okay, moving on. Where's Thrasher now?
You better call him Gilbert now. Funny, back in the day, he just seemed like this big old growly bear. Strong as an ox and just about as articulate. But then he got all torn up during our fight with the robots from Base Cochise, and he couldn't go out on patrol no more. Any other commander would have handed him his walking papers. But Vargas doesn't dump old friends. So he started him working in the museum. And once you know it, turns out the old bear has a knack for cartography. He's been gradually mapping our little corner of the wasteland ever since. Who'd have thunk it?
So, we saw you at Ace's funeral. You knew him well? I mean, we already saw the heart, so we know the answer, but we'll say this anyway.
They all hurt, but this one... Man, Ace wasn't even a ranger. Not at first. He worked as a driver and mechanic for Farron Brygo up in Vegas. And when Base Cochise started sending its death machines into the desert, Brygo sent Ace south to recruit robot fighters. We met him in Quartz. He'd pissed somebody off out there and they'd locked him up. We sorted that out, and he started running with us, helping us fight Cochise, and never stopped. Vargas eventually gave him the uniform and the hat, but I don't think he ever formally signed on. He was just always there. And now he's... God damn it, Ace. I knew this one was trouble, I knew it.
Yeah, where's Quarters?
Man, not sure I can recall. Haven't been out that way in ages. Don't even know if it's still on the map. Ask Thrasher, he'd know.
So you thought Ace's mission was trouble?
He was working on the same thing Vargas has you working on. Trying to track down radio signals from beyond the edges of the map. All seemed a bit boring and scientific to me. But then Ace started saying he thought someone was following him. I asked him to let me come with him when I met him at Rail Nomads to give him the repeater units. But he told me to go back to base. He said he was just jumping at shadows because those radio broadcasts had spooked him. I should have gone with him. Why didn't I go with him?
Do you know any more about these repeater units?
I don't really know the details. It's all a bunch of mumbo-jumbo about transmitters and north-south axis and signals bouncing off the clouds. Ask Woodson about it. He's our radio genius.
So, do you know Woodson?
Radio technician Wade Woodson? Sure do. He's the guy that makes sure you can hear Vargas when you're out on patrol. Keeps the machines running and the signal clear. He'll also talk your ear off about circuits and frequencies and I don't know what else if you let him. But be nice to him. He's your lifeline to the base.
Okay, tell me about the Rail Nomads.
Could be a nice little place if the Atchisons and Topekans would kiss and make up. I can't even remember what it's all about, but between them, they got enough old railroad tech that if they worked together, they could give this area a real transportation system. Instead, seems like all they want to do is blow each other's heads off. Idiots.
Alright, well, bye.
Say, listen. Vargas asked you to look into Ace's death because he thought I was too upset to be professional about it. He didn't want me going off half-cocked and shooting up all of Arizona looking for his killer. But I'd gotta find this guy. Ace and me, well, we'd been fighting side by side for nigh on 20 years. I'm not letting him die unavenged. So, well, I know it's going against orders, but if you let me tag along and be in at the kill, well, I'll help you find your feet out there. Maybe give you a few pointers along the way. I may be old and slow, but I know the wastes like the back of my hand. What do you say?
Yes. Oh, we have a fifth member of our squad.
No need to tell Vargas why I joined you. If anybody asks, I'm just helping you get oriented, all right?
Yeah, alright. So, go to followers. We now have a follower. So followers basically are members of our squad, but they have their own ideas about how things should go. So if we go and have a look at her here, she, apart from being level 7, which is, as you can see, quite a bit higher than us, she has on here somewhere, yeah, rogue chance of 10%. So she has 10% to lose control and do whatever she likes, which is slightly problematic. Ooh, she also has some letters on her here. Okay, I'm just going to move these over a little bit. Can we read them? Each of these letters is faded and yellowed with age and use. To my angel is scrawled on the front in loving, if slightly messy handwriting. Okay, so she's got letters from Ace there. She also, being level 7, is significantly, you know, more powerful than anyone else here. So, that's good to know. Just thought I'd want to just want to check this well. Nah, nothing in a well. Okay. Well, with that, I am going to end the episode there. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like, a comment, subscribing, all that sort of stuff, hitting the bell, do any of these other many things you've heard many people say hundreds of times. I only say at the end of the first episode of a series, and basically that's because it helps search ranking, and it helps the series grow, and it helps the channel grow, and generally it's a good thing for me. So, thank you for watching, and I will hopefully see you in the next episode tomorrow, same time. Goodbye.